I'm gonna eat a Pringle because I ain't had breakfast. Pringles for breakfast. Let's see if we're working. Checka, checka, checka. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's see. Alright, Pringles for breakfast. We are good. Yay, we are good. We are all set. Day 3 of streaming. What is this nonsense? Where did I find the time? I don't know. Where did I find the energy? I certainly don't know. But we're doing it. I want to do a hobby stream. Because we did a unboxing on Saturday. Like, what camera is my hands on? Woo! We did an unboxing on Saturday. We played Warcry on Sunday, which I have to say I super greatly enjoyed. I really enjoy getting to play some game, since you just honestly the numbers are too goddamn high right now to play. So super happy about that. And then number 3, today I just wanted to do a hobby stream. To be honest. I was debating doing a thing where I streamed until all my Deathcore of Krieg were painted. But I think that might be a little bit too much for me. I think I might run out of juice before then. So we'll see. We're trying to find ourselves the juice. Keep it going. That's what we're doing. Excuse me. We'll see. So, let's take a gander at some hobby stuff. Woo! Boop. There we go. Swapped over to the other cam. Like magic. Ooh. Alright, let's take a look gander at some hobby stuff. What do I have as far as hobby stuff on my desk right now? I've got some primed sisters from the starter box. So I'll paint them when I feel like painting the ladies. And then I've got some conversions for Necromunda. So lots of little stuff that I do to these guys. You see, this guy's got like half of a Space Marine backpack. So I want him to have like a big like ammo pack. One of the big things is new heads. Obviously, this guy had to trim his collar down. And then he's got some backpacks and weapons and stuff. You can see this guy here. He's got one of the weapons from the new pack. He's got the two-handed hammer, because you can actually give the jetpack guys a two-handed hammer, which is pretty sweet. Here's the other jetpack guy. She's got one of the flying dude backpacks, or heads, sorry. And she's got some grenades there on her belt, and the chainsword. And a little pouchy pouch there. So, my idea for these guys, right, is to turn them into, like, caravaneers. I really like the idea of these, like, kind of, like, laden down in pouches and gear looking dudes, like, carrying supplies across, like, the ashen waste of Necromunda. So they've got some like environmental gear. They've got their rebreathers and goggles and stuff, and then they have a bunch of like pouches and backpacks and stuff. I thought it was very fitting considering these guys are called the Men of Arn. So, there's the guy. Hello, it's the guy with the shotgun. And he's got a holster for the shotgun on his back. So I thought that was pretty darn cool. So. You know, that's what I'm trying to go for with these conversions here. So, we got this dude here who has like 1 billion knives. Ooh, come on. Focus up. Thank you. He's got like 1 billion knives. He's got this melt-a-gun. See, he's got a backpack too. He's got the melt-a-gun and a different head. Then we've got this guy here who's got some grenades. He's got some little pouches on his back. He's got the flamethrower. And then again, a different head. I will give the flamethrower guy sort of like a bigger rebreather. We've got this guy here who's the grenade launcher guy. I gave him the head with like the extra torch and stuff on, like the extra eye and all on the side. And then he's got some pouches and backpacks, and he's the big like heavy grenade guy. Then we've got this guy who's just a regular like kind of crappy trooper. I wanted a couple more of these, like they just kind of, you know, they're just like grunt kind of guys. So he's for like a tree that was built into it. But he's got another helmet. He's got another head. And this guy here, he has an actual AdMech backpack, some pouches, the big flamethrower, and then I gave him the different style AdMech head, the like helmet head instead. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I put those guys together last night, and they were just fun. And they'll get built up or painted up soon to match the other ones that I showed off a minute ago. So we'll go ahead and we'll move them off the screen. Oh, they're not actually on the screen. All right, we'll move them off the desk. I will say it's really cool on him. Just makes him look like this big like ammo jack kind of thing. It's cool. All right, let's see. We're good. All right. So I did manage this weekend to get a couple of these orcs done. This here's one from the Orc Commandos, all painted up. You can see his skin is there, and the weird warboy's white, and then he's got the like monochrome gear, and he's got some grenades and stuff, and he's all painted up, looking good, looking fancy. Oh, I got him done. Then I've got a couple others that are, and then Blueberry, the bomb squig, also just needs his watches, and then he's all done too. So knocked a couple of them out at least. These are some amazingly cool models though. There's the Orc boss guy. I love this model. Or the, where's the flamethrower guy? Flamethrower guy, also super amazing. Yes, he's pretty close to being done too, for ready for washes. So pretty cool stuff. But today we're going to work on the opposite side of that box. We're going to work on the Death Korps of Krieg. So Death Korps of Krieg are a faction that make me a little hesitant to play them. Because Warhammer has this really nasty reputation for being like super super like, I don't know what's the right word here. I don't want to say fascisty, but fascisty. So like dominated by like Nazis. Why is that? Well, in the lore, the Imperium is super fascist. Like straight up, they're legitimately designed to be commentary and like an allegory for like fascist states, right? And they're intended to be like this kind of like, holy shit, this is terrible commentary. Well, terrible people look at that and they go, oh my god, look how great this is wonderful, and then they eat it up. So the Death Korps of Kriegs are one of those factions of those like really shitty, horrible people tend to like flock to. And oh yeah, I gave this guy a shovel because it just, there's a whole meme about them killing people with shovels, so I gave him a shovel. He used to have a truncheon. So there's this whole thing where these like shitty people flock to the Death Korps of Krieg, partly because they have this very fascisty looking aesthetic. In truth, they're supposed to look like the French from World War I. However, the people usually take them to looking like Nazis. So they're a faction that I feel kind of hesitant playing on the table. So when I paint them, I want to get as far away from Nazi as possible, without being like, you know, like ridiculous, right? I still want them to have that like World War I aesthetic. You know, I don't want to paint them like pink or anything like that. but I don't want them to be in like grays and, you know, light blues and stuff like the Nazis were. So instead, we're doing US Doughboy colors, which coincidentally actually turns out to be the color of a faction that's very similar to the Death Corps of Krieg called the Steel Legion. So we will be doing US Doughboy colors for our Kriegsmen right here. So what does that entail? Well, it entails me grabbing some paints that I had not prepared, so I apologize for that. Give me a second. Ooh, eat. Ugh. Boo-da-boo. I haven't actually picked up my colors yet, so we'll do that together. Here's our boy right here, right? So we're going to need a couple colors for him, right? We need a color for his pants and his jacket. A lot of World War I stuff actually has these being different colors. It's like a pretty standard thing. For some reason, they issued their guys different colored pants. But we're going to do it as one color. So they're just going to be one solid. So the pants and the jacket are going to be one color. I think that will read a little better to the viewer. We've got some little technology in here. You can see he's got his rebreather and stuff. That's all going to be gunmetal. So we're going to use... it's a pretty dark metal, but still metallic color. I want to do it in some way in a metallic. So we're going to use that. Oh, my paper is like really in the way. Then he's got a bunch of belts and pouches and stuff like that. My first inclination for those would be to do them in brown. But I think what will look cooler is if I do them in a olive drab. So I have to figure out what olive drab I want. I like this combat fatigues color. That's pretty cool. I might use that for something else. So do I want army green or venom worm? I don't know yet. We'll decide. And then we need to do the gun. Again, that's going to be metal. We'll probably grab a second metal color. Like a bronze or a brass or something like that. To pick out some of the details on the gun. He's got some armor here. He's got shoulder pads. He's got a helmet. I'm going to keep these in green. Because I think it'll help tie the color from the belt and stuff like that. The belt and the backpack and stuff. Up and through the model a little, and I think it'll look really nice if I keep that in green. Then he's got a gas mask. The tube, we're going to just do that a metal color. Technically, it should probably be a different color, like a black or a gray. We're just going to keep it a metal color, keep it all similar, nice and consistent. But the actual gas mask itself needs to be a color. Now, one of the colors I was debating was Stone Golem, which is sort of like a off... kind of like a warm gray color, but I just found this thing called Combat Fatigues. I think that might be kind of cool. I think we might try this. I think that might be pretty cool. So we'll give each of those a try and see if we like one. I need to paint his hands. I'm going to paint these whatever color the gas mask is. Same things for the wrappings here in the legs. It's going to be the gas mask color as well. And then he needs a boot color. I might just flat out do that as the same color as the wrappings. We'll see. I might do it in brown. We'll have to wait and see. Alright, now moving on to the back. He's got some gear here and there, so we're going to have to pick this out. This is a bayonet. We'll pick that out in silver. And then some of this is going to be green, like these pouches and stuff like that. But like the bedroll going over the top, we'll do that in whatever color we do the gas mask in. So in truth, he should have a pretty simple color scheme in the end. He should have... Where did our buddy Brown go? I'm gonna pull it up. Hold up. There it is. Alright, so he should have this for his base colors. Alright, so this is game color khaki from Vallejo. He should have that. He should have that for all of his like pouches and stuff. Then he's going to have a gas mask color. Then he's going to have a metal color. And he'll probably have another metal highlight color, like say this copper here. Right, and that should pretty much be all the colors that go into this guy until we do washes. So it should be pretty simple. Nice and easy little small color palette. But we'll see how it works out. So let's grab our guy. Let's grab some paints. Alright, come on, Kriegsman, you're in the fucking way. I like you, you're cool. These guys do have really awesome rolls. I was debating, because everyone and their brother wants these out of this box, I was debating just selling these guys, because I did feel weird about playing them, but I was like, you know what, I really do like the trench aesthetic. I think it's really fun. So I wanted to do it, and I didn't want the Nazis to win, I guess. That'll do. Okay. Alright, so let's see what we got. So this brown is not super covering, so we will need to hit that again, but we'll do that when we start covering up. So let's get some shaking action going on. So it's a holiday. Yay. Yay holiday. Which is pretty fun. I've really enjoyed this nice 3-day weekend. It's been super chill and super good. I got my hair. I cut my hair last night with my husband's help, which was really nice. So that's pretty cool. So I look slightly less horribly old now, so that's good. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. So let's get painting our Kriegsman so he looks less like a fucking Nazi. Commence Operation Denazify. So this might end up actually being like the ugliest color scheme ever, at which point I'll have to back up and punt and figure out a different one. But I think it'll be okay. I think it's going to look pretty cool. It is pretty much like the US color scheme from World War One. Man, this Venom Worm is not coloring for shit. There's a lot of paint on there. But yeah, it's been really nice. I had a 3-day weekend. I got out early on Friday too, which was really nice. Although I spent most of the day driving around and giving stuff to friends, which was really nice. So I drove around town and gave friends some gifts, and that was really sweet. And then let's see, Saturday. Oh, while I was doing that, I also picked up the Necromunda stuff from down in town, because the store had it, and the other stores had the other armchair was having a 10% off sale. So I grabbed myself a Start Collecting box for Fire Slayers, which is pretty sweet. I like the Fire Slayers, they're really cool. And they've got a big dragon in there. It will be lots of fun to paint. Super looking forward to painting the dragon. You know, maybe actually we give him green boots. Maybe that will actually tie the green color down lower into the body, because he doesn't have any pouches or anything on his legs. So maybe if we give him green boots. Or is that too weird? Is green boots too weird? Green boots feels too weird. We're not doing green boots. Green boots denied. You will, however, get green armor. Yeah, I wanted something to tie it down lower in the body, but it's just too weird. There, you can see this paint's pretty thin. It's smearing a little and stuff, which is unfortunate, but it'll be okay. So yeah, so that was really nice on Friday. So I did all that, and then I had a little video call with my mentee from the local college. That was also really fun. And then, yeah. To be honest, a lot of my free time, I haven't been painting as much as normal, because I've been playing Path of Exile. I don't know why, man, but it's really like grabbed me this time. I'm super enjoying it. I'm almost through the story now. I just started Act 8, which is pretty cool. And I think I have a Shadow Lab to do, which is like a end game unlock kind of thing, where like it's a challenge, and then if you beat it, you get some extra cool shit. It's pretty cool. So I got one of those to do, and then I just started Chapter 8. Oh. Man, I'm sitting all weird on camera today. I don't know why. But yeah, I've been really super into Path of Exile recently. I don't know. I'm trying to get my husband to play it with me. But we tried playing with our friends one time, and our one friend is like super into it, and it was super overwhelmed the shit out of my husband. That's completely fair, because our friend was like way too into it, and he's like, you do this and you do this and you use this guide and this and this and this and this, and like I actually ended up putting him on mute on the freaking Discord channel, because I was like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to play with your guides and shit. I don't care if my character's not going to be able to do like the turbo nerd rage hardcore content. It's like I want to play, and I want to get the hang of the systems, and like I want you to like fuck off. I probably annoyed the shit out of my friend, but too bad. He was being too much. So yeah, so this time I don't know anyone who's playing this current league, so just sort of playing by myself, really just having a good time, learning it, seeing what's there. Actually, that green boot might actually not be that bad. And it would tie the color down there. Do we want green boots? I'm sorry, he's a little blurry. Do we want green boots? I don't know if we want green boots. We'll debate green boots. So this is going to be a little messy. This paint is not going on very well in one coat, so gonna be a little messy until we get it thickened up a little bit. That probably looks like crap, but he'll look good. I promise. Eventually, he'll look good. Let's see. I shouldn't be painting on pseudo wet paint. That's just going to make the paint rip. I know better than that. Why am I still doing it? Okay, I'll stop. Let's see. He's got backpack straps in there. Let me get those. Here's this one. Do we want to keep this green, or do we want to move the other green? This one's a little dark, but I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's definitely sliding a little. The paint is. It's a little too thin, but oh well. It is what it is. We'll just do 2 coats of it, and he'll just be a little ugly on the first coat, which is fine. Which is fine. Let's try to make sure we have some paint down on each one of the sections, so when we do the second coat, we'll get nice good coverage out of it. Alright, sweet. So I have a lot of the green left, so I think I am going to hit another guy's backpack. Let's do the sniper's backpack, but we're going to swap brushes. That brush is a little small for this kind of... Oh wait, that's a flamethrower guy. That brush is a little small for this kind of like, just sort of like glop it on application. So we're just going to try to get some of the areas with this as well. Just get them knocked out. We're not going to worry about doing the belts or anything right now. Just trying to get some of the color down on the backpack. Because it's a big area to do with such a tiny brush. But yeah. So yeah, these guys will be really fun to play when I get to play the new kill team. Maybe I'll try to play a game next weekend on a stream. That'd be kind of fun. We did Warcry this weekend, so a couple things in the rules that are a little weird that we might just flat out skip. There's this whole thing about like placing barricades and all this fucking nonsense. I'm just like, what is this? This is just dumb. It's like, it looks like really the core rules of the new kill team are pretty great, but all the stuff that gets added for like match play is just fucking weird. Not a big fan of it. There's this whole like scouting step and stuff that only happens in match play, and I'm just like, this is stupid. Like, everyone I know, like, we made a joke out of the scouting step because one guy would always plant mines and one guy would always remove mines. And like that's what always happened, and it was just kind of dumb. Go. But yeah, these guys have some really cool rules. The demolition is neat. He can basically put a mine down and then run away from it. So I actually have a mine token that I built. We'll paint that when we get to the gunmetal, because it's a mine, so it's mostly gunmetal. But yeah, it's definitely a cool mechanic he has, where you can put a mine down. This is the sniper, so he snipes things. And then there's a spotter as well. There's a spotter. So he has a mechanic. Hello! It's going pretty good. It is going pretty good. I am painting models and streaming. I can't ask for too much more than that. But the spotter's got a mechanic where he can like activate another guy, which is kind of cool. So, and like give them a buff to hit or something like that. It's pretty neat. Plus, I figured the spotter was such a generic looking like mini that if I wanted to run him as a basic trooper, I could. A couple of them are that way, honestly. The Bruiser could be a regular trooper. The Confidant could be any of those guys. Same thing with the Zealot. Like, they're all kind of generic poses. So, alright. We used up the rest of our green paint. Let's get our canned Thai tea. So good. Alright. Oh, let me grab the mine token. Where's it? There it is. This is my mine token. I built it with the extra base that comes in the set, and then it's the shovel, which is a piece on the thing, the piece on the runner, and the mine, which is also a piece on the runner. So that way my demo can put a mine down, and it's pretty cool. Alright, let's bring out our gunmetal. Alright, let's paint the mine first. And then when I do the basing for these, I'm going to like half bury this in the texture paint, which would look pretty cool. Should look pretty darn cool. and be more fun than just a plastic or just a cardboard token, you know? So yeah, should be pretty good. There we go. There we go. And then we'll bury it in texture paint. Since I've got a bunch on this brush still, I'm going to put it just on here. Just like that. Just use it off this brush. Don't want to be wasting paint, you know? Alright. Moving over to the nice little brush. Here's our Kriegsman. We will get some of that out. But yeah, I think these guys will be they'll be pretty fun to play, to be honest. I think they'll be pretty good. And yeah, a lot of these like kill team specific factions have neat rules. Some of the compendium stuff has neat rules, but most of it doesn't. Most of it's just like, well, here's your consolation miniature rules, you fucking nerds. You know, but it's all good. We still got some cool teams. The orcs are amazing because they get a bomb squig and all kinds of fun shit. So you can have a commando grot who looks like Scuba Steve. So hell yeah, you know I'm playing every game with Scuba Steve. Thank you. I enjoy painting. It's fun on stream. I've been enjoying streaming. And I've been trying to find more energy, so I will probably be dead after this because I'm pretty close to being dead. Streaming 3 days in a row, but I'm trying, man. I'm trying to do it. Brian has been buying so much shit. He's like, no, you enjoy things. You shouldn't be mean to yourself. And he is probably right. So I am trying to enjoy the things that I buy instead of being mean to myself about them. So I'm trying. I'm going to make sure we get every angle of that there. I'm going to get the back of the magazine as well. Then we want to do the tube here. Just like that. But yeah, I'm trying. So I probably won't pick anything new up for a little bit. At least until the new Cruel Boy stuff comes out. Then I'll probably grab a thing or two from there. The Cruel Boys are funny because they're a line that I think they could be so much fun to play. We'll hit his belt as well. Get his belt buckle. Little details like that are important. We don't want that just to be green. You know, we want it to stand out a little, because it will add to the overall look if you get that kind of stuff. All right, let's see what we got here. We've got a bedroll. We've got some kind of tank here. We can do the tank in metal. It's a little hard to see because the paint's so messy right now, but it's okay. As we clean it up, as it gets cleaned up, it'll become clearer to us, and we'll be able to pick out more and more details of it. I missed the back of that, so we're going to hit that. There we go. Then we'll start hitting this. So things like the metal clips on the bag and stuff. Like the clips on the bags and stuff, like those, we will get those, but they're a finishing touches kind of detail. We don't do those while while we're doing other parts of the mini. Otherwise, we'll just end up replacing them accident. But yeah, they are kind of Lord of the Ringsy. I see that 100%. And that's what I thought of them at first. But honestly, the idea that really sold me on them was this idea that they're orcs, right? So they worship Gork and Mork. Well, Gork and Mork is a two-sided god, right? So one side is like this happy, lovable, like, like kind of dumb, kind of doofus. So it makes sense for the other side to be this like super cruel, like monster of a like vicious bastard. And I thought about that, and I was like, you know what? I really like that. That's a really cool idea. And that idea right there is what made me fall in love with the Cruel Boys. Alright. So there's the metal bits off his backpack, his rifle, all painted in. We'll touch that up a little bit more. His rifle all painted in, and then his rebreather. There we go. Alright, so we are going to use up some more of that paint that I have just over here. And we're gonna do some guns. Guns. So this dude's flamethrower. Mainstream. Yeah, okay. And some of these tanks, we'll do them in red because that's like the color of flamethrower tanks according to movies. So we'll do some of them in red. But yeah, just trying, man. Trying to enjoy my life, trying to enjoy my stuff. Alright, it's all we can do. It's all we can do. But that's why I decided to stream today. Ugh. So I shouldn't hassle myself and beat myself up for buying stuff and enjoying the stuff I buy. It's a little weird, but who cares? Right? There ain't no thing like me but me. Alright. Well, then let's get I guess let's keep doing the combat trenching guy. So one of the neat things about this this faction is in Kill Team is that you actually can run 14 guys. So if you don't want to take like an artillery strike or something like that in your team, you can instead choose to just run 4 more guys, which I think is pretty cool, and honestly could be a lot of fun to have a team of like 14 guys. 'Cause that's a lot of guys for Kill Team. Because like the Death Guard, the most you can get is 11. Makes them kind of look like firefighters. I could see that, I guess. I'm trying to go for like U.S. doughboys, World War I kind of look. I want to stay as far away from Nazi as possible. I don't feel good about putting Nazis on the table. That feels weird. That's not what I'm about. So we're trying to still enjoy our Death Corps of Krieg, but stay away from Nazi. But yeah, I'm just using up some more of that paint that I had out. I don't want it to go to waste, you know. So just picking out a couple things, and then it'll save me, when I get to these guys, it'll save me time, you know what I mean? I'll be like, oh, this guy's gas mask is partially painted or whatever, right? Like, or this guy's grenade launcher is partially painted or whatever, you know? It'll just save me time in the future. Be super honest, I actually debated basically only building like one special weapon with this team, basically running them all as guys with rifles, because I just thought that would be super thematic, but too many of these weapons are just too cool to pass up, like this grenade launcher where he's like loading the shell into it. And everything in a trench coat is bad. That's fair. I mean, these guys are intended to look like the French from World War One. The problem is there is a large, stupid part of the Warhammer community that rallies behind the Deathcore of Krieg, and they tend to be the people that don't like women or brown people. So, so it makes me a little hesitant to paint them in the true Krieg colors because of that. So, I don't want to show up to a game table and be like, here are my things that look super fascisty. Let me make a lady that I'm playing really uncomfortable, right? Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. Like, that's not what I'm about, right? Like, I don't want to make people that I'm playing uncomfortable. Yeah, the grenade launcher guy's like loading a shell into it. It's really cool. Alright, so let's see. Do you want to try this Combat Fatigues color out? Yeah, fuck it, why not? I don't think I've ever used this color before. That's a weird color. Let's see how it looks. We might swap it to gray instead. Might also be one of those colors that looks weird, and then when I hit it with a brown wash, it looks amazing. Alright. Do we like that? I'm going to say no. I'm not a fan of that. We're going to use Stone Golem instead. Stone Golem! It's a warm gray. And this gets kind of a browny hue to it when you hit it with a brown wash, like IRXR shade. It looks really nice. This is actually the color I've been running for teeth, to be honest, recently. I've been using this over like skeleton bone, which is usually what I run for teeth. I've been running this color. So once I hit this with IRXR shade, it'll get like kind of like a browny kind of gray hue to it. It'll be really nice. And it will tie in really nicely to the tan kind of taupe color. Go. I think it's too light. Yeah, for the green, I agree. I don't like it either. I mean, it's a nice color, but I don't think it's the color I want. Because I already have a brown and I already have a green kind of color. So, and this color will be kind of like a tan when I hit it with the wash. So, it should look really nice. And then we'll get all that painted up in there. All that painted up in there. And we have this one here on the inside of the boot. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to paint the hands in the same color because he is wearing gloves. And then paint his hands in. Paint his hands in. Oh, it might be too close to the camera there. And then we'll use this to also paint in the gas mask. Just like that. And this will be nice because we'll have a lighter color for the face, so it should draw the eye into it. So we shouldn't wind up with a situation where like you're looking at like his boots or something like that. We'll paint this bedroll, same color as well, just to try to move it around the model some more. This color is only in one spot. So we are trying to avoid. Sorry, there's a loose strand on there. I had to get it off. So yeah, the green is still a little messy, so it's a little hard to see details to paint them right now, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And as we clean up one area, other areas will become easier to paint in the future. Alright. I could also do these sections in like a darker gray, which might also look pretty good. Like a stone, like a field gray kind of stone color would also probably look pretty good. I think you're way nice, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But I don't know. I was being very hard on myself on Friday for buying stuff, so my husband is totally right. I do need to be nicer to myself. Sometimes we are our worst critics. So I'm trying to use less negative language and things. It's one of the reasons I shaved my head last night, because I do like how I look better when I have my mohawk than when my hair is just growing out. So that's one of the reasons I shaved my head last night. If you want to save a bunch of detail painting on these, just don't paint the knapsack. or like the bedroll part of it, just let it be the same color as the backpack. You'll save so much effort on these. If you don't care about it being a different color. I do care about it being a different color, but if you don't, you'll save so much fucking effort if you do it. If you don't paint it. Alright, so let's see. This guy's looking super messy and gross. But we're getting somewhere. Let's try to... going out here, like a weird face that... Oh, yeah, I totally agree. I'm not a super big fan when my hair gets really long everywhere. So, I cut it off and it makes me feel better. Yeah. I don't really want long hair either, so it works out. I'm much happier to have my mohawk back. Alright. Let's try to tighten up some of these things, because he's looking really messy and crappy. Give me a sec. There's one loose hair on this fucking brush. There we go. Alright, so let's try to tighten some of this up. And then we'll see where he's at from there. Because it's so messy, it's a little hard to see what details to paint and stuff. And that's a side effect of this green paint just being really sloppy. I do like the olive drab. I do like this like olive drab green with the tan a lot. I think that looks really cool. But yeah, just enjoying the holiday. Fortunately, gotta work tomorrow, but gotta be able to afford my plastic crack addiction somehow, right? I want some of that new Cruel Boy stuff coming out, so I'm certainly not going to afford it otherwise. So. I want that big guy riding the Trog, and I kind of want the Arbalest too, just because I think it's going to be fun to play with. So there's like a Beastmaster who's like riding this big Trog. It's really cool. And then there's a big like crossbow that's also really, really cool. So beard braids, interesting. So the problem with beard braiding is finding beads that work with it is really annoying and hard. Because everyone that sells these really tiny little beard braids. It's really obnoxious. That was a really cool color. Not totally saying because of the color scheme is coming out well. The more you progress, the more part of the Trog is how. Yeah. As I tighten the details up, this will look better and better. It's hard to get there, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, that Trog is cool. It's a cool model. He's got this really cool, like, I don't know. He's got this cute personality in his face. He looks kind of like, I don't know. He's got this like, I'm attractive and I know it look in his face, and I think it's really adorable. So I think he'll be fun to put on the table, especially with the honey badger. So running both of them I think will be really fun to get them both together. Okay. Alright. Yeah, definitely a weird green to use. I do like how dark it is though. I think it looks really nice. See, I gotta do the shoulder strap here. Same thing with that one. I gotta get that one too. Go. Belts painted, belts painted, belts painted. So we gotta clean up the backpack a little bit, and then we gotta clean up the tan. So let's go ahead and let's use up the extra green I got out on our buddies here. We'll work on the medic next. We'll just block in some of the colors in his backpack too, right? As we do each one of these guys, they'll get easier and easier. So we'll just have more and more stuff blocked in as we go along. There we go. But yeah. Sorry, I went quiet there for a second. My brain was thinking about, I don't know, kind of nothing, I guess. Sort of just running out of steam. I have streamed a lot this weekend, and while I have loved every minute of it, especially the war cry yesterday, it definitely takes a toll out of you, that's for sure. You know? Definitely like just sort of adds up over time and sucks up some of your energies for sure. So this guy has a converted head, so the running model here you're actually not supposed to use with the helmet with the big lamp on it, but I really like the helmet with the big lamp on it, so I ended up taking the cord, the like gas mask cable from the head that's supposed to go in this body and swapping it. Because I think the lamp is cool, and it's a very like medical thing. So, all right, used up that green. Okay, let's touch up the brown next. All right, we'll touch up the brown. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know about Da Vinci, but I'm definitely doing my best. You know, and I have to say I was super happy to find this because my GW equivalent of this breaks like all the time, and I always have to buy new pots, and it's super annoying. So I was really happy to find a Vallejo version in the dropper tube, because I end up saving so much paint using the dropper tubes over the GW stuff. Painting in this collar that I missed earlier. I totally painted the wrong area for the strap for the backpack. Okay, well, you know, that actually looks pretty good. We might actually just leave that. Yeah, I think we'll actually just leave that. That looks pretty good. Alright, so let's pick out some of this tan here. Get it to have some coverage. Then we can on the back of the armpit there. Areas where it's not perfectly colored. You always want a little variation in coloring, but you don't want spots where it's like you can see the primer showing through. So there we go. Here we go. Tighten up under his trench coat. Yeah. I think the Doughboy colors look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with those, honestly. It might be a little weird is the boot color, but I think once I put a wash on it, I think it's gonna look really nice. I think it'll really it'll tie the room together. I think that'll help a lot. But yeah, you can see it's so the GW paints are nice. But the pots dry out so quickly out here in Hawaii that I've moved almost entirely to dropper bottles. I just need to find a color for Jacararo Orange. I need to find a look-alike color for that, and Avalanche Sunset. And the minute I do that, I can totally get away from all the GW dropper bottles that aren't washes. Or all the GW pots that aren't washes. There we go. Alright. So that's our brown all touched up. Just got to touch up the gray on the backpack, and he's pretty much done. I've got a bunch of brown out. Do I want to touch up anybody else with it? I think we'll just hold on to it for now. We'll just let it be. Because I already hit most of these guys. I mean, I guess we could use it up, I guess. It'll save us some hassle later, I guess. So what I normally do when I'm painting like a big group of similarly dressed dudes like this, what I normally do is I go ahead and I paint like 3 to 5 of them at a time. I don't usually do the full 10. So like when I have leftover paint, I'll get enough paint out to do all 5 kind of thing. And I'll do that section on all 5, this section on all 5, that section on all 5. Like that. And that way I have small victories, right? So I'll complete a model pretty much every time I sit down to paint. Would I ever do a painting tutorial stream? Possibly. Possibly. If I had something that I felt like I did different than everyone else, I would probably make a point to talk about it. But I tend to just sort of mix techniques in as I go, right? Like I'll just talk about usually what I'm doing versus being like 10 tips to teach you how to paint like a pro. All the the clickbaity stuff all the YouTube people do. You know, because I'm not doing this because I want it to be a job or anything. Like, I'm just doing this because I enjoy doing it and it's fun, you know? Because there's definitely a science to this kind of stuff. Getting people to click on things and the whole art of thumbnails and, like, you know, and I have to worry about that stuff for a living. Like, I don't want to worry about that stuff in my hobby, you know what I mean? If I end up making a little bit of money off this one day, it'd be nice, but honestly, I would just use it to buy more toys. Because, I mean, yeah. Okay, so that's all our brown used up. Let's see. Let's do the... Yeah, there's a lot of really weird, cringy clickbait out there. I don't really understand it. Well, I understand it. I know why it exists, but you know, it's not my jam, you know. But like, if you wanna get seen by the algorithm and stuff, it's what you gotta do. Like, there's a whole block of science to, like, appeasing the YouTube algorithm and all this nonsense, you know. But it's not for me. It's too much crap to worry about. I just want to paint and talk about my toys, you know. That's all I want to do. There we go. Get a little alternate color in there. And the rifle, just to pick out some details. You know, not to do every detail so it looks like it's like crazy Technicolor rifle. But I wanted something. You know, something to pull out some of the detail a little bit. Alright, so let's see what we got. Let's break out that stone golem. So I'm just going to dip it in. And then we're going to clean up the lines. Our washes are going to help with this a lot. Right? It's going to help with our lines a lot. But we want them to be as clean as we can get them. Prior to that. So dipping into the pot like that to the tip, you really shouldn't do that because you will tend to get slightly drier paint out of it. But I want to use just such a tiny amount of it that I don't want a ton of it. So, all right, there we go. That's that. Okay. What's left on our buddy here? A spot on his neck that I totally missed. God damn it. Oh, well, I have that, where is it? Here it is. Well, I have the bronze, a bunch of bronze out. I want to use it up. So I'm going to just put it on this part of the flamethrower here. I don't know why, but my brain, every time it sees heat shields, is like, those need to be brass. I don't know where in my life I saw a brass heat shield and was like, that's what the color of heat shields, but yeah. Okay. There's our boy. What else does he need? Oh, we need to pick out the little clips and stuff. Let's do those in silver. Because then we're also going to do the bayonet in silver. Yeah. And then we're going to set him off to the side, let him dry, and then we're going to hit him with washes and see if he does look nice after he's washed. And we'll give him like 15 minutes to dry or so, and then we'll hit him with washes. Because I think he's going to look pretty boss. that bayonet. Alright, now some stuff. Let's see. How does this work? Do we want to pick the eagle out of the helmet? I think we're going to ignore the eagle. I think having a big eagle on your helmet is a little more fascisty than I want on my models, so I'll pick this clip out and that clip out. And we'll pick that out and that out. Alright, nice. Okay, it's going to drive me bonkers if I don't do this, so I apologize. What color is that bronze? This is True Copper from Army Painter. It's pretty good for like a coppery kind of color. My favorite actual bronze color is Bright Bronze from Vallejo. I love this color. This is one of my favorite colors. So just so you can see what that looks like, that's Bright Bronze right there. And then when you hit it with Agrax Earthshade, it becomes, see that color in the barrel? Come on. See that color in the barrel where it's kind of like muted, but it's still kind of really shiny? That's what it becomes. I just like to have some other color than just the weapons being monotone. Because it's, you know, it's unrealistic, right? But I really just like how it looks. I like having a second color. Alright, I just need to touch these up because otherwise they're triggering me. As I do not have as good coverage as I want. There we go. Sorry about that. Just little bits and bobs, and I'm just like, this isn't good enough. All right. There we go. Alright, sweet. There he is, all ready for watches. The watches will pick out all the details in the helmet and stuff, so we don't need to worry about going crazy doing that. A lot of the uniformity and monoposes can be broken using different color schemes on weapons and equipment. Yeah, to a degree. There definitely is some of it that's really hard. I'm actually really worried about the new Orc Combat Patrol box. Because those boys in there are super monopose. At least the Beast Snagas, you can get like a variety out of them with some kit bashing. Those new boys worry the hell out of me. I'm really worried about them. I think they're going to be really hard to get 20 unique sculpts out of them, 20 unique poses out of them. But I'm not going to pick up the Orc Combat Patrol for a while, although it's a great box. I just, I've got too many other projects to do, to be honest. So I will get them eventually, but not right away. There's just too much other stuff for me to do first. I want to finish up some more of my Tyranids. I want to get all this Kill Team box I picked up painted. I want to do all this stuff. I've got my Stormcast Eternals from the Dominion box I still need to paint. They'll probably actually, once Kill Team's done, they'll probably be my next thing. Because it looks like the Age of Sigmar stuff's finally coming out. So and I want to pick up some of the Stormcast stuff for that, so I would like to be able to play it. So we will we will do that. We'll probably do those next. And they're going to be done in kind of like this old sort of like Dark Souls inspired color scheme. So they're still gold, but they're very like kind of like worn and weathered looking. I actually have one. Oh, where is he at? There he is. So that's what the Stormcast will look like. This is my test model for them using the Dominion stuff. And it's sort of like just beat up and nasty. It's basically all done with dry brushing minus the belts and stuff that I painted in. I wanted it to look really Dark Souls-y, so there they are. So she's my test model. Uniform monopose. The new ones are less monopose than the old ones, I think. Do you mean the new Orc boys? Because they're like super monopose. The ones in the combat patrol, like they're like you can't even build them all with shootas or stabas. You have to build a mix. Yeah, I think it's going to look really cool, especially if I end up getting one of the big dragons to go with it. I think it's going to be pretty sweet, but we'll see. And then I'll probably do the dragon in red and black, and do any cloth that's on these guys, because some of these guys have like cloth and stuff. One second, gotta fix my belt. Oh, stabbing me in the belly. A bunch of the other models have like cloth, like capes and stuff. I'll probably do those with like red outsides and black insides, or black outsides and red insides, something like that. I think it'll look pretty sweet. So I'm probably actually gonna spray a bunch of those today, because I sort them off sprayed black. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the new Orc boys. They're go and look at the preview for them. They are super monopose, and it's really a shame. There's actually a video from Auspex Tactics telling you what you get in the box as far as like what you can make with the poses. Super good video from Auspex Tactics. Legs all tentacly. Yeah, there's definitely some cool stuff you could do with it. Creature Caster actually has a really cool like gaping dragon model that's amazing. It's not an official gaping dragon, obviously, but it's a really, really cool model, and it would make a really nice sub for those guys. But I do really love the official models, so I'm definitely going to be picking one of those dragons up. I don't know if I'll ever actually get to play it because of the points. Like, I'll probably have to play some bigger games just to use my dragon. But oh, I should see what I'm doing. I'm just filling in colors right now. I'm not doing anything particularly mindful or interesting. I'm just filling in colors while I wait for that guy to dry. Because like this isn't normally how I paint, right? Like this is a lot less like efficient way of painting. How I'm painting here on stream, because I want to like finish one guy. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for him to dry so I can put washes on him. So while I'm doing that, I'm just going around and I'm just blocking in other colors with my pretty big brush here. There's a lot of cool poses you could do with them. But it's all good. I mean, they're still great models. And if you got a box of regular, but I mean, I don't know. I'll see when I get it. I'll definitely pick it up at some point. But I'm not going to pick it up for a while. Just because I just painted the Beast Nagas. And I'm working on these guys now. I kind of want to paint something that isn't just like more orcs. You know what I mean? So I'll probably finish up some of the projects I urge to paint boys again. Alright. Let's block in some green, I guess. Guy with a shovel. Oh, man. I'm zoning out again. I'm running on fumes. But doing my best. Doing my best. I was debating doing like a 6-hour stream thing where I finished all the Death Corps of Krieg. But then I was like, oh man, that will just literally make me like a zombie tomorrow, so we're gonna choose not to do that. Let's see, he's gonna roll. Some of these guys have like non-cloth backpacks. They've got like sound systems and stuff. You know, to be honest, I'm actually debating not painting the bedroll in the backpack. It's a solid color. It actually kind of looks better, to be honest. Let me debate that. Yeah, kind of like that. Might also not draw the user's eye from the face, because like one of the reasons I want to do the lighter color for the gas mask is to draw the user's eye to the face, right? By having a lighter color like in center mass like that. Shit. Do we want to paint the bedroll? Does the bedroll being painted add anything? Alright, I'll see you, man. Yeah, totally. When the numbers light up, we'll play. I don't know if that bedroll actually adds anything. I think it actually just detracts. Shit. This is always the decisions for the first one, right? They're always the hardest. Let me think about that. Alright, so let's take a look at this thing. Okay. So who's going to have the light hands, the light feet, and the light face? And the light bedroll. If I choose to just paint over the bedroll and just have it be green, there won't be any sloppiness with the straps. However, you won't have the color difference there. So he's just going to have a big green block on his back. That's a toughie. it's a toughie. Because there's also an interesting thing, right? Like, if I... let me find one. So, if I did the hands and the boots and just had the face be the different color. If I did the hands and the boots in tan and just had the face be the different color, it would always draw your eye right to the middle. However, it might also look really cheap. Like, it might look like I tried to, like, skirt painting in the details if I do that. So that's an interesting question, right? So, like, if his hands are that color and his boots are that color, tough. Alright, let me Google something. I need U.S. Doughboys. Of course, all the pictures are in black and white. Jesus, I am stupid. Why did I expect the colors to show what color they're wearing? God, I'm dumb. Oh, interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay, you guys can't see this. Apparently, doughboys are actually reverse. Apparently, they are green with tan. I thought they were tan with green. Apparently, they're the opposites. And they have brown boots. Interesting. I thought they were called doughboys because they were tan. But no, apparently it's the opposite. Apparently they are tan with green. Or green with tan. To be honest, though, I like the tan with green. I think it looks cool. Yeah, we're gonna paint that. We're gonna paint over the backpack. Yeah, we're going to. We're gonna paint over the backpack, and we're gonna leave the hands and the boots that color, so that we don't have any orphan colors. That's what we're gonna do. I've made my decision. We are sticking with it. Yeah, I don't like the bedroll being a different color. It's probably more accurate than it is, but I don't like it. I think it looks messy, and I don't want to draw the user's eye to the backpack. I want to draw the user's eye to the face. So we'll go ahead, we'll paint that up, clean that up, and then we'll let him sit, and then we'll give him washes, and then we'll let the washes sit, and then we'll see how he looks. Man, I should have done research and seen that they were green with tan. I didn't think we had actually given green uniforms out until Vietnam. But I guess we did. I guess they were in World War One. I swore in World War One we made people wear tan. But I guess not. G.I. Joe, you've lied to me. My knowledge of war history is entirely from G.I. Joes I had as a kid. Yeah, that looks... Alright. That already looks a billion times better. Yeah, because now your eye just goes right to the face. And like the center mass, which is where we want it to be. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to let him dry for a minute. And then we'll probably have to do another coat of that. and then let that dry. But yeah, I want to make sure I get one guy done today. So before I call it a stream, make my husband go get lunch with me. I want to make sure I have one dude done for the day, you know? Alright. Now, does this guy have like a wooden grip or anything on this gun? I kind of feel like there should be. Yeah, there kind of is. No, that looks like it should be metal. The stock, I mean, you could probably do the stock in wood, but honestly, I don't see a need to. Right, you could probably do this piece. You could probably do this piece here. Wrap that around in wood, and then the stock in wood. But I think it's okay as is. Your title is odd, but I totally agree. Yeah. I thought it was fitting because I was beating myself up for buying stuff, and Brian was telling me that I shouldn't be so mean to myself, and I think that's probably true. So I don't know. You know, the funny thing is, like, when we speak, right, we hear our own voice. And when we talk in our mind, right, like when we think about things, we also hear our own voice. So when we speak and vocalize, and also like, you know, also think about like stuff like, you know, oh, I suck at this, or I shouldn't have done that, or whatever, right? Like that's coming from inside of us, right? Like that's ourselves telling ourselves that. So it actually has this really weird impact on ourselves. The effect in psychology is they just call it negative speech. It's a thing that like you try to, in humanistic psychology and in cognitive behavioral therapy, you try to train people to avoid doing it. In CBT, you ask them if it's true, basically, right? Like, hey, is, you know, all this negative shit you're saying about yourself true? Well, no, right? I'm actually not stupid and ugly and blah, blah, blah. Okay, then why are you saying it, right? You try to train them that way. And with humanistic psychology or Gerian psychology, you try to look at the belief underneath of it, right? And it's almost always caused by lack of like a self-worth or something, and that can be side effect of like, you know, things like depression and stuff like that, like chemical depression. But you know, anyway, sorry, psychology rant. Yeah, so. You know, it has impact. Negative self-speech does, so it should be something that should be avoided. And Brian's right, I shouldn't do it, 100%. So I've been trying not to. Not always doing the best at it, but, you know. It felt like a fitting title given that, you know, I was beating myself up for buying the skill team box and all, so it seemed pretty fitting to me for that reason. Alright, and where is my Agrax Earthshade? Agrax Earthshade, where are you? I can't ever paint without Agrax Earthshade. Man. Alright, Agrax Earthshade, I gotta find you. Hold on. It was not that hard, because I've got like 10 bottles of it. Alright, and there's our buddy. We've all painted up. Get some washes on him. But since this paint hasn't had a ton of time to set, that's all screwed up, the brushes. I'm going to be very careful applying this because I don't want it to activate the paint again. But I'm going to block it in just like that. And what it's going to do is it's going to darken down my colors, and it's going to put some wash on the joints. It's going to make it look nice and dirty. All right. Because these guys, they're not clean guys, right? They live in trenches basically their entire lives, right? Like, there are a lot of horrific existences in Warhammer 40k. One of the most ones is being a krieg. Basically, because you live war 24/7. You're born in the trenches and you're going to die in the trenches, essentially. It's actually funny because they have this whole thing about, like, dying for the Emperor, so there's all these jokes about them being suicidal. Which is pretty fitting, given that they basically live in, like, a hellhole. As they live in a never-ending war zone, essentially. Yeah, just going around applying it everywhere. This will also mix all the tones down a little, and you know, get them a little closer to each other, which is also good. Something fell down. What was that? I don't know. Yeah, I'm really happy I filled in that backpack. It looks much nicer now. And there we go. All right. See if there's any weird pulling we don't want, like here on the shoulder or here on the side of the helmet. We don't really want that weird pulling. If we can avoid it. Here on the base of the gun. There we go. All right. The brighter look on the skull, right? Well, I want to make sure that there's still some lines and stuff in there, right? Because there's some detail in there that I want to pick out, but it's really, really tiny. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit that with a little bit of known oil. The details in there are really, really faint. So a little bit of wash will help with that. Alright. And there he is. there is our completed Kriegsman. So the wash will dry a little bit later as it dries. It'll probably dry the next half hour or so. But that will be our U.S. Doughboy or Steel Legion Kriegsman. Right there. I'm happy we filled in that backpack. That looks much nicer in pure grain now. It is a little bit of a loss of detail, but it's not bad. You can see the difference in the hands. And you can see we kept the front of the gas mask the lighter color, so he still has the skull. So yeah, it's pretty good. I am pretty happy with that. He looks like he is ready to fight some orcs. Whoa! There he is with the orcs from the box. The orc has a much bigger gun than he does. But yeah. So I will go ahead and I will get them all painted up and show them off and have some fun. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it there because I need to eat something besides a handful of Pringles. So I'm going to go find my husband and be like, let's go drive to Capilé and get us some sushi. And hopefully this was fun and entertaining. You can see all my models there. Hopefully this was entertaining and a good time. And hopefully people enjoyed watching it. And try not to use negative speech. I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm going to get some lunch. Have a good one. I'm on fumes. Keep on keeping on.